to try to summarize what I heard. What I heard was that the medical profession has been around for about 2,500 years. And in these 2,500 years, many of them, certainly all of them collected money and many of them lived well. During these 2,500 years, it's not entirely clear what they did for mankind in the first 2,400.
I never heard that.
But
famous economist.
We haven't been around that long.
Lawyers contribute to Magna Carta.
Now, the question that I heard sort of debated here is what exactly is medicine, what exactly is medical care. People spoke about access a great deal, and there was some suggestion that indeed publicly there is something provided and there are some things that are not and perhaps never will be provided. The question is then, can we as consumers buy the extra? Margaret suggested that perhaps we ought to have voluntary group insurance, which, by the way, is a difficult thing to do because you get negative selection. All of the people who are sick would sign up. So I think you would probably have to make it mandatory in some way. At which point, once more, you ask yourself the question, okay, not every Canadian drives a Rolls-Royce, to put it mildly, but when it comes to medical care, we somehow expect that we should be provided with one. And this is a totally insurmountable problem in the field. So with medicine, like with many other fields, there seem to be more questions than there are answers. I think the issue ultimately boils down to the individual, whether the individual feels that he or she is being attended to in terms of what ails him or her. The real question that we have not gotten around to discussing is that in extending human life, as Mark has kindly pointed out to us, it is being extended. How much of that is productive human life and how much of that is a state of morbidity where people are still clinically alive? And there's a huge difference in terms of social cost between the two.
That can happen at any stage of life.
Alas.
Like that.
Conservative.
So I think the good news in all this discussion, just to finish up my part of it, is that there's lots more left to discuss.
Well, we'll do that again and again.
Know that. But anyway, I'm delighted to thank David and Diana for hosting this evening and also for the input from my own doctor and some excellent economists and film producers and what have you. So I really appreciate it, and I think we should all thank David and Diana for hosting us.
Thank you very much.
Well, thank you, Gerald. Thank you, Dr. Ross. And you may retire if you want, because you always have to.
Yes, I have retired.